Hey everybody, it's your old pal John. I hope you're all doing well. Today we have Hammond May Clarkson making fun of countries compilation one. You guys seem to enjoy when they were taking a piss out of the Americans, and so, well, why not just keep going? They seem really like they're just fun. Sorry, it's been a little while. I've been taking care of an Afghan family. They're refugees that came over here, and so I've been doing that. So I'm sorry it's been so long. Let's get into this.
I strayed slightly over the speed limit there, and I was caught, and they dealt with me efficiently and courteously, as befits a civilized nation, which is, of course, what France is.
No. France is a country you have to drive through to get to Italy. That's all it's for.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Look, the fact of the matter is, they've got better cheese, they've got better wine, they've got better... They
haven't got better cheese. They are a bunch of treacherous, lamb-burning, work-shy peasants.
One thing I've learned is don't get in between the British and the French when they're making fun of each other. So have at it.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this bridge? What country is that in? Is it in Britain or is it in France?
It's in France.
It was designed by an Englishman, but we're so tight-fisted we wouldn't build it here and they would.
No,
They're better than us.
No, they're rude.
Look, they're better than us. I promised the policeman I'd say that.
They're rude.
Otherwise he would have taken my licence away and put me in the Bastille. Now, I'm not joking, they came alongside me and I looked across, thought I'm in trouble here, and they were just going...
They were. Did it not occur in your big woolly head that maybe it was a trap?
No, you see, I trust the French.
You see,
so they weren't a bit broke.
Exactly.
You know? What sort of trap?
Well, I mean, carry on, Mr. Clarkson, and then there's a battery of cameras just under the next bridge to nobble you.
No, tallest race on earth now, the Dutch. Officially. Mind you, they do take a lot of drugs. That's why they like Top Gear so much. Hello, Dutchie. Get out of the way, you Polish lorry! Why are you cluttering up our roads with Latvian milk? The Chinese are very good at this sort of thing. I'm speaking to you now from behind a pair of fake Ray-Bans, wearing a fake Armani jacket, carrying a fake Louis Vuitton bag, in which we find a fake iPad and a fake iPhone. And if we consult my fake Omega, we see that it's 25 to 3, probably, which means it's time to pop into the fake Starbucks over there for a cup of fake coffee. It seems then that the expression copyright infringement doesn't translate terribly well into Mandarin.
Wow, that's actually a really good bit about the Chinese. Yeah, okay.
How many of those engines does AMG make by hand every year?
18,000, and that's not including the ones they make for Pagani with the Zonda.
Over 18,000
Yeah.
by hand. I mean, Fritz must be the hardest working bloke in the whole of Europe.
Fritz.
I can't come home tonight, I must make another 20,000 engines. Meet my hands!
So, finger yourself
It's
all to
grand
spoon! Yeah,
It's
I know.
amazing.
There's no wonder he gets the odd one wrong. Anyway, the point I want to make here is, here we've got a government agency selling us these number plates on the basis that you can tweak around with them to make them say something else. Then you have another government agency with tall hats and plastic shoes booking you for changing your number plate round so it says stamps.
Absolutely right. Welcome to Britain.
Welcome to Britain, everybody.
Okay.
This is the worst country in the world.
Yes.
Now, they do...
You know, it's funny, we do that in the States. We do, they're called vanity plates, and you can figure out why they call it vanity plates. They're very vain people. But yeah, they're really funny. People get away with all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know if that's the same in Britain, is it?
use power, so I rang up Volvo and I said, what is this all about? How much do your daylight running lights, how much extra fuel does that mean you're using? And they went away and they did a calculation and they came back and they said, to be honest, it's such a tiny amount that we can't measure it. So now Audi have said, yes, but we will half it. So now and that was the Swedes who, let's face it, are a rational bunch. The Germans have made the Swedes look reckless. What sort of achievement is that?
Because just up the road from the Mercedes factory is the German wine-producing area. God doesn't like German wine, let's be honest.
So every
Neither do
year,
any of us.
God sends hailstorms to flatten the German vines, so we don't have to have any Blue Nun and Black Tower. And now Mercedes has gone along. We have got rid of the clouds. More German wine, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen.
It's terrifying. It's bad news.
No, but I just wondered, why don't they just, for example, build a shed?
Well, because they're German.
I was
The
thinking, if I go
Germans, this would
outside-
be simple.
If it's hailing, I don't think...
Nein, it is easier to send a Messerschmitt into the clouds and shoot
Shoot the clouds out of the sky.
Okay. All right, this is gonna be interesting, but I didn't know the Germans made. I mean, I figure everyone's makes wine, but and they're near France, so I mean, okay, fair enough. But I've never had German wine, and I wouldn't even know where to start with it. I don't know. Have you tasted it? Have you guys tasted it? Is it just like lousy, or like what's the deal with German wine? Is it is it bitter? Does it taste like beer?
Did they not mention this then?
Do you know they didn't?
How odd.
It is, isn't it? Because Mercedes like to go on about their heritage and history, and they didn't mention
do.
that one.
Well, perhaps they didn't mention it because it's got Hitler in it.
I don't know.
That's not Hitler.
It is.
It isn't. No, that car was built long before indicators were invented, so he's just there to do some hand signals.
What signals are you doing there then, James?
He's saying, take the Third Reich.
Ow! Private ticket.
Bentley is owned by the
I'm sorry, that was perfect. That was a great setup and a great delivery. Jokes don't get better than that.
W.
Yeah.
That car was styled by a Belgian, and it was engineered by a man called Ulrich Eichhorn. Doesn't sound very British.
Are you
does it?
presenting Top Gear, or are you writing a letter to the Daily Telegraph?
Well, I'm just saying that you know immediately that that car is German because it's got too much power. They've overdone it, as usual, like they did on their French holiday in 1939.
James, the Queen is German, but
Yes.
you don't sing Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles every time she comes on the television, do you?
Well, I do, actually.
Yeah, he does.
The real problem is obviously that between now and when you're watching this, really anything could have happened. Somebody could have invented a car that, I don't know, runs on jelly. We might have declared war with France. To be brutally honest, the only...
I'm sorry. I just love the banner with them. I know you guys do too. And if you, by the way, if you want me to do the next compilation, I will. But yeah, I'm a little busy with my Afghan family, so.
real solution to keeping fuel prices down is population control.
What we need for China?
No, not
May's fuel price solution.
not kill people.
Well, fair enough. Think about it. How many people are there in France?
In France,
Yeah.
about the same as here,
60
about
million.
60 million.
We don't need all of them, surely.
Do you know what's happened here? Audi, who of course own Lamborghini, they've built all of the car and then just let the Italians, to keep them happy, do one thing. So what news have you got then, James, this
Well,
week?
I don't get
actually,
it.
I've got some news from Korea.
You can't tell, can you, that Top Gear's just been sold in Korea?
No, no.
Well, no, I don't think there's any evidence. I think we're smoothing this one out nicely.
It's not showing.
Hello, you industrious little fellows.
That's got him on side. Well done. It's not like we've ever upset anyone.
I know. Well, there was the vicar whose tree I rammed in a Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah,
and
that was-
everyone in Wales, and everyone in Birmingham, and everyone in America. We should do a car that's quintessentially
I don't think everyone in America gets upset. At least I hope not. If they do, well, that's their problem.
German.
Well, just replace the spoons with little sausages in
No,
clips.
no. Give it trafficators that go like that. A sat-nav that only
It doesn't
goes
get
to
old.
Poland. Und ein Fanbelt that will last for 1,000 years. They're just shooting at me because my car's Japanese. It's racism. Now this is a half French, half Italian car. That's
Uh-oh.
a worry. You see, when the French and the Italians come together
That's not good.
to do cooking, that's great. When they come together to make a car, run. Run for your life.
Agreed.
The interesting thing about the French nation, I think because they are essentially peasants and communists, is that they are quite good at the fairly small and fairly simple car.
We all know why it is. It's because Lamborghini are owned by...
Do you guys agree with that? About they can make a small simple car. I don't know. I know Opel. That's French. And God, we had a thing called Le Car that was here. Did you guys have that in Great Britain? Anyway, yeah, I don't. The French.
Audi. So the Germans do the actual building of the cars, and then they let the Italians do the brochure. So they're just filling the numbers. It's got 1 million horsepower, yes. 100,000, it's invisible, and it's got cannons. Mexican car's just going to be a lazy, feckless, flatulent open leaning against a fence asleep, looking at a cactus with a blanket with a hole in the middle on as a coat.
That's a poncho.
It's interesting because they can't do food, the Mexicans, can they? Because it's all like sick with cheese on it. I mean,
Refried sick.
yeah, refried sick.
I'm sorry, but just imagine waking up and
wrong.
remembering you're Mexican.
It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant because you could just go straight back to sleep again. Oh, I'm a Mexican. I'm a Mexican.
All I'm going to do all day.
That's why we're not going to get any complaints about this, because the Mexican embassy, the ambassador's going to be sitting there with a remote control like this. They won't complain. The things I'd
Yeah, or if they do, it would be more like they would start doing the work and then, never mind, I'm not gonna.
rather do than drive one of those include presenting next week's show while gently cupping James's scrotum.
And we're off the air in Korea.
Yeah, goodbye, industrious little fellows.
Oh, give me a minute. I'm going to have trouble shifting that vision now.
What is Zonda going to do?
Oh, that'll be easy. Well, they're Italian, aren't they? They'll just lie. That's what they do. So they say, emissions is very important. Is it low or high? Low. Okay, my emissions is 1. And that's it. And that's how they'll just lie.
They will just like, well,
Remember...
Are Italians known to lie? Like, is that like the stigma? I've never heard that one before, I guess. Although, yeah, I don't know. I've never really heard. I mean, the Roman Empire, I mean, that's a different thing, but...
But we thought we'd said goodbye to Lada. I think about 97 when they finally went away. No more horrible Russian cars made out of turnips. Well, they're back with this! Oh, look at our glorious new car! I mean, clearly this is poor. Very, very poor. The best thing about it is, I mean, it's obviously rubbish just looking at it, but they've decided to model it on other cars to compete directly with them. So they've built it to compete with the Fiat Brava and the Toyota Starlet. Both of which are cars that aren't built anymore.
so they're competing with cars that were
I
out
was
of
confident
date.
of winning this competition. And it's just... and if you see where those coming, run. They are absolutely awful.
Are they going to be sold in Britain?
Well, certainly in bits of Europe, they'll cost about $3,000, all of which you will lose the moment you take the whole lot.
Yeah.
Worthless.
Top gear, top tip, avoid.
But it is beautiful. Look.
The best...
So my thinking is, if you have one of those, it's probably worth a lot of money now, because I don't think anyone's importing anything from Russia at this point.
The thing about this is you just know it has to
I love British humor. I mean, you guys just knock it out of the park.
have come from a country where drugs are legal.
It could only have been the Dutch. You can see them now sitting around one night all listening to Bob Marley, and somebody just, these cars, too many wheels, let's lose one.
My favourite Dutch story is they had an explorer years ago, okay, called Abel Tasman, who went off to the South Seas to try and expand, you know, find new lands and so on. And he found Tasmania, because he was Abel Tasman, and that's named after him. He found New Zealand, and he found the
I didn't know that.
Fiji Islands. He missed Australia.
It's easily
It's easily, I was having a deck.
I heard of
having a
that,
little
actually.
smoke sail right past it.
You've got everything.
It's just unbelievable. I'm sorry about that.
But
it's-
then they brought it over to this country.
Oop. Sorry, that is a fun guy right there. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. If you don't know that guy, he's didn't mean to pass it on there, but he's a Native American guy I talk with. He just passed away a little while ago. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to move into that. Okay, talk to you guys later. Take care. Have a great one.